As a teenager, I went, we came back from the Middle East and we went to a private school, and it was a Catholic school, and I got expelled.
Well,
Because,
well,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I was asking a lot of questions because at that point now, I'm at this age where I can engage in a different capacity.
Now, were you questioning authority, or were you questioning some of the teachings?
All of it.
All
Because
of it.
I didn't understand why priests who aren't married can give marriage advice to people. That didn't make any sense to me. I didn't understand why I had to do reconciliation and tell a priest all of my sins because he told me he's a microphone to God. That's stupid. It was just a lot of
And you
different.
realized that at what age?
Let's see. I was in 8th grade.
Wow, that's that level of consciousness, and that realization of those things, and being exposed to that says a lot about, I think, your soul. You know what I mean? Like, I always tell people, I never understood the saying when people said, that person's got an old soul. I was like, what does that mean? And then, once I started studying Torah and understanding Gilgal and soul roots and everything else, you're like, I get it now and I understand it. But, that's what I think, you being to have that realization at that age, that there's no barrier. There doesn't need to be a barrier between you and God and your relationship. In other words, there's a person, a man in flesh. That's a high level of consciousness to have at that age, I think.
I've never thought of it that way. Because we can only, my perception is only through my experiences, I guess. So, but it wasn't just my questioning them that got me expelled. Like, I started to rebel against the entire infrastructure because I didn't want to be there. And asking those kinds of questions alone is not going to get you expelled from a Catholic school,
Right.
or any kind of school. But it was just, there are some people that you meet in life where you instantly click. And then there are some places or people where you go and you're instant enemies.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and I just, whenever I was in a Catholic setting, I was uncomfortable, I was agitated, and I didn't like it.
I mean, yeah, I've heard the same thing from other people. Maybe not just Catholic, but within a church setting.
I
I've
didn't
heard
like
that
those,
exact same quote.
the statues creeped me out, didn't like any of it. So, but my mom begged them to take me back for my 9th grade year. So I was expelled from my 8th grade year, went back my 9th grade year, and then after that, I was sent to public school for the remainder of my education until I graduated.
So from pretty much your whole high school years, you were in public school. Is that correct?
Right? Yes, yes.
Okay. And how did you think that had any? You think that was more of a relief to be out of that setting, that Christian Catholic? Well, you said Catholic school. That Catholic school setting made you feel more comfortable, where you could engage into the education better, or was it just you just didn't want to be there, and it didn't matter where you were as long as you weren't there?
I did like the public school setting simply because I could actually join different clubs. I mean, private schools in general, at least the ones that I experienced, were limited. That's it. Everybody here is Catholic. There is no diversity in beliefs or anything like that, which is fine, because there's Jewish schools and that's how it's supposed to be. But Catholicism wasn't for me, so it wasn't working. In public school, I could join, a philosophy club or whatever and explore different options.
Right. So within the public school setting, was there ever anything that ever happened that through that setting that maybe drew you one way or another towards God, or was it after school at that point?
No, it didn't draw me to God at all. There was nothing in a public school that will. If anything, I just became just as secular as my family at that point.